tick, tick, tick on the wall. Maybe you could have it all. Get down on your knees and pray. Maybe she will let you stay. Good enough if you play the game. Here comes the music, don't resist. Gotta keep on moving. Here comes the music, just give in. Gotta keep on moving.
Sick.
Give me 1 second. I am pulling up this thing here.
Yeah, while you're pulling out that thing, yeah, I don't know. I'm learning about like it, in being a parent. There's always this new shocking twists and turns that happen, and my son has his bathroom habits have been fairly irregular, but then he like pooped for the first time in like a full day or two. And it's shocking. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought Alexa did a funny joke bait and switch to swap out his poop with that of a adult human size, like a
maybe a horse
poop. A horse poop, potentially. It is like the diameter of, I don't want to get too graphic for audience, but I will say the diameter with respect to the general size of my baby boy was shocking. Unbelievable.
It was like 34% of his body mass.
Legitimately, that's not no exaggeration. Like, I look at this thing and I'll look at him. I'm like, I don't believe the physics of it don't make sense.
Also, Patrick, the beginning of what you said, like the opening, like I was just like hearing it as if you were like narrating the intro to an episode of Scrubs. You're like, being a parent isn't always easy.
I try to give at least some sort of preamble so I don't just immediately dive into talking about my son's poop. I get a little bit of context first.
Yeah. Like, should we do this? Should we not? Should we, like, hone in on it? The biological aspect. But anyway, that's not what we talk about on the show.
I mean, sometimes it is.
Okay, maybe. Unless.
You said that's not what we talk about this show, and then you completely stopped moving. So for a second, I thought you had just frozen.
I was trying to tee you up to say what we do talk about, but I'll do it. That's okay.
You can do it.
I did freeze. Yeah, hey, this is A Court of Bros and Broses, and this is a podcast where three straight men are on a maiden voyage through Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses, and maybe we learn a little something along the way. I'm Nirav, and I am your host, and I'm joined by Patrick, my co-host. Hello.
Hello.
And our newly minted co-host, Ian.
Hey, guys.
So, yeah, we are going to do a little revisiting of Book 1. Think of this as Book 1 remastered. It's been out.
I like that.
This episode has been out probably, like, we covered Book 1 in its totality, like, maybe almost a year ago now. Like, so I think in video game terms, I would say it's been about a year. It's time for us to release a remaster, maybe some shoehorned in DLC.
Is it a remaster or a remake? It's almost like a remake because they ended up. It's one of those things where like they remade that episode, but they recast one of the three people.
This one's gonna have a lot more graphics, and the
visuals.
It's gonna be more graphics.
For the three of us or for our audience?
Yeah, for everyone, man. And this one,
new texture pack.
There's a new texture pack from Minecraft for this episode. So in your podcast player, make sure you download that. That's a quick 99 cents microtransaction, so don't worry about that.
Make sure you are on Wi-Fi though, because that is a hefty 20 gigabyte download.
It's a lot of shaders. So yeah, we're thinking of this as like a remaster episode of us revisiting Book 1. Ian's finished Book 1 of A Court of Thorns and Roses, the titular Court of Thorns and Roses, and
the two of us have heard none of his opinions on it yet. Beyond the brief opinions you guys heard in his intro episode, we have no idea what his thoughts are. So we'll be experiencing that for the first time, and I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, as much as tumultuous as it has been to kind of like do this like kind of turn in the show and everything, I'm actually kind of excited for an excuse for us to like revisit Book 1 with some scrutiny now that we have like spent more time with these characters, and especially with Feyre, who we shat on a lot for about a year, and maybe have better feelings about as a character.
We cannot clue Ian in on any of our opinions of the first book. I want to hear.
I do want to. Yeah, you're right. I do want to hear him
untainted opinions,
pure uncut Columbian opinions. Yeah, so I guess we'll start. So, what were your overall thoughts, Ian, on book one?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. There were some like questions I had, both like in terms of where it was going and like what was gonna be happening, both later in the book and moving forward into the next book. And like questions I had like, why was this decision made? This seems like an interesting decision, but for the most part, I thought it was fun.
Nice. Now, when you say like this seems like an interesting decision, I think our audience would like it if you would maybe spice that up a little bit and be like, why the fuck would she do that? So could you give me some of that energy a go?
Yeah, feel free to honestly just like no, you don't need to hold back at all. If you feel the need to like drag any specific part of the book, go ahead. But also don't feel the need to drag any part of the book. Like just honest opinions, hit us with them.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I really didn't like was at the end when she becomes a high fae. I thought that was a bit lame.
Interesting. I want to hear more about that. Like, tell me about why that was kind of lame. I'm interested.
I feel like, well, obviously it changes like the whole dichotomy of high fae versus human. It seems to like disconnect her from a large part of her character and disconnect a lot of the barriers that existed between her and the rest of the characters in a way that I feel like just instinctually feel like it's going to remove some of the interesting conflict in the story. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen in book 2.
I don't want to. I'll try my best not to do leading questions here, but by the time the first book ends, she will have been a human for the first 19 years of her life, but only a high fae for like, a day.
Yeah.
So, or I think it's very brief at the end.
There's like a brief epilogue kind of thing.
So even though she is biologically technically now high fae, I think I could be wrong. This is when reading 2 books is potentially might be doing me dirty right now. I think at the end of the book she says, maybe it's the beginning of the next book, she says something about being like still human in her heart. Does she say that in this book or something?
I think it might have been the beginning of the second book, but I don't think that's really much of a like spoiler or anything.
Not much of a spoiler, but like
I do think she mentions that in regards to the 2 fae she kills in the 3rd trial. How she's still carrying that weight.
Yes, okay, I think she does. Yeah, that was the end of the book. She says that, yeah.
But I also, so full disclosure, I finished the book, I think it was beginning of this week, and I have not really looked at it since. I feel like I thought she mentioned something about her, like, parts of her that she was holding on to have slipped away. I feel like she mentioned something about like not worrying about her family as much at the end of the book, but I may be misremembering that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I'm not sure.
I could be.
But again, it's been a minute since we went through this.
Yeah. I'm the one who's supposed to be like, no, this is exactly how it happened. But
see, to be totally honest, this is the point where the 3 of us would bring up the Tales from the Bookworm page, and we would re-review the chapters we just read and go, I forgot about that thing that I just read, because all of us have information leaking out of our heads constantly.
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, I cannot speak to the accuracy of what you said. What you said could be totally accurate.
Sounds right to me.
I don't remember that necessarily, but yeah, it is tricky, and it's interesting. We're in this shoes. So at the end of book 1, we did a big. I think I mentioned this before. We did a big roundtable episode with us, and then also my wife Alexa and Rachel, and did Lindsay?
Lindsay was in that one, yeah.
Was in there? Okay, yeah. And they were sitting there having to just listen to us talk about stuff and holding their tongues because they obviously knew way more than us. And it is tricky to try and think of, okay, wait, no, did that happen, or did that happen later? So I'm trying not to say too much, but I will say that I don't think there is a point at least in the end of I don't remember a point where Feyre doesn't care about her family still.
No, I don't think it's that she doesn't care about her family, but I think that there is like, I think you saying it like there is like a disconnect or a break from like who she was before is probably the right wording. Actually, I'm curious just as a point of contrast, because I know Patrick has not. Ian, have you read or watched Twilight?
I watched the first movie.
I've watched part of the second movie.
Wait, are you talking about when we were at Viv's house? And so when I sat there with you and watched half of the second movie, okay, understood.
That's my some experience with Twilight.
Amazing.
Damn, Nirav, I am sorry. I was previously outnumbered as being the only non-Twilight person on this podcast, and Nirav is now the only.
I don't know
Twilight
why when I became some
diehard.
sort of like mega fan of Twilight just because I like fucking saw these movies, but like,
Oh, excuse me. I'm considering you a mega fan because of the amount of times you bring up Twilight on this podcast.
It's so relevant is the problem. This is this is a remake of our episode before. The ACOTAR is a remake of Twilight. Like we got to be talking about this.
It is.
But
it's Twilight meets Beauty and the Beast.
yeah, it kind of is. But okay,
Yeah.
so just for example, Ian, my point of contrast is that in Twilight there are 4 books, and it is not until halfway through the 4th book that Bella becomes a vampire. Spoiler alert, sorry for
I'm mildly aware of that.
yeah, so it really, really contrasted by Feyre becoming a high fae at the end of this first book, and thus removing the only real obstacle between like this this romance with Tamlin and with the like other people in the fae world, you know, like which is really interesting how you mentioned that, because like that is sort of, and maybe this is better in the long run, because in Twilight, of course, it's sort of just manufactured controversy one after another because Bella just won't turn into a vampire for no specific reason, and if she did, then there would be no story. And so like yeah, I don't know. I think that when we talked about this the first time, we were kind of like, I think it felt good to us that like that they got this kind of out of the way in the first book, because it was going to happen eventually, and I think it does kind of help with at least removing some like, I guess, like quote unquote manufactured like conflict in that way, and maybe working towards like more real drama in the future. But I don't want to lead you too much, but I did want to ask, what were some of your thoughts on like the specific characters? Like, what is your read of like, let's say Tamlin, like as a character?
Actually, I wanted to know that too. But before we move on from the high fae to human to high fae transition thing, I will say that one thing that Sarah does a lot in these books is that
Ian, we're on a first name basis with Sarah. So
yeah, Sarah, we're pretty tight. We're pretty tight with Sarah. We just say Sarah.
Yeah. I do have her PR person's email address. I'm going.
And she listens to this every week, right?
Wait, yeah, she does. Huh?
She totes says Sarah or her PR, both of them listen to it.
Yeah, they both listen together and drink hot cocoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
They gather around the
sent us
fire.
that photo that one time of the two of them, and they said it was a selfie they sent us. They said, "Just listen to our favorite pod," and it was them listening to our podcast. It was cute. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, the human to high fae transition. Every time it talks in the first book, they talk about the human to high fae. Every time they talk about the humans, or they visit the human world, they talk about the humans. There's this clear level of like, you guys don't care about this, right? Like every time, like at the beginning of the book, and then when they go back, it's just like, Sarah's like, this is boring, right? We can go back to the high fae stuff. So I do kind of appreciate that he was just like, she's a fairy now. Like, and that's kind of, this isn't a spoiler, but I feel like Sarah does a pretty good job of like understanding what her readers are here for.
Yeah,
and
I can
she
agree with
cuts
that.
a lot of the BS, especially as you get into the next books. Like she really does cut through a lot of the BS, and she's like, "Come on, here's the stuff you want. Here's the fun stuff. We're just here to have a good time." And I appreciate that.
It's interesting that you guys mentioned that like it always had to have happened or was going to happen that she turns into a high fae. Because I never would have guessed that's where this book was going.
And that was me speaking because of, I think, my Twilight-addled brain. Because of the comparisons to that, I was like, well, obviously she's going to turn into a high fae eventually. Like, it'll probably be at the end of the 3rd book or something like that. But that was just
like any. I think it's just like a lot of fiction like this, though. Like, I don't know, The Bride of Frankenstein or whatever, right? That's another example of just like, it always ends with the love interest then becoming the same thing as her love or whatever. And not in every story, but in a lot of the stories that end up being the case. It's part of the fantasy. Like, this book was written for women, so I think part of that fantasy maybe is just like, or it doesn't have to be even a female reader. It's just like the fantasy of like, oh, now I'm a high fae too, and like I'm adopted into this world. So like I kind of always assumed that's where it was probably going. I admittedly, I don't know if I expected it to happen at the end of the first book, but I did kind of think it was probably going that way. Although also I'm not sure if I just, because my wife had read all these already, maybe a snippet of her experience had creeped into my mind subconsciously, and that's why I thought it too. But
I don't remember, and maybe Ian, you can tell me on this. Did they drop like a nugget of information earlier in the book about someone previously having become immortal before?
I don't remember, which is I don't think
I don't remember if
did.
they did they tee it up at all, I guess is my question.
I don't remember Sarah having teed it up because I was very confused. Like, I realized that they were like giving portions of something to like heal her.
Nirav and I are both laughing. You just went for it with Sarah, which is
I
great.
love it, dude. That made me so happy.
Yeah.
It felt so
I mean,
yeah,
we're on the first name basis.
Yeah, keep going.
Like they were giving, each of the high fae was giving something, like a part of their soul or something to heal her. And then she became a high fae. And I didn't even realize, like, it took me a second to realize that's what was, like, happening.
Yeah.
Because it was very unclear. I don't think it ever mentioned any sort of, like, that the high fae-ness could be, like, given. Or
that was kind of my question, is if they had ever mentioned it before, because like and frankly I will say they don't do a lot more in the future books about explaining this concept of how this transformation happened. I think Sarah just kind of was like, okay, this isn't what you want to hear about. Like, you want to hear about this cool stuff happening, which I don't want to spoil for you, but the world just as I'm saying, like, the world is going to get a lot bigger basically in this universe. But like, I think one question I had for you also about that like ending stuff was how you felt about like the tone and the intensity of the book of like until they got to the Under the Mountain section, and then like for the rest of the book, because it feels like a different book to me. I don't know.
It does. There is a distinct shift. It definitely feels like for the most part, a high fantasy jaunt, exploring this new world.
Jaunt is a good word for the first part of the book, yeah.
Yeah, with like hints of some darker undertones, and then it does go to a bit of a tone shift once they go under the mountain. I would say most of my issues with the book were within that second half, or that second or last third or whatever it is when they're under the mountain. Not that I didn't like that section. I thought it was, like, for the most part interesting, and it was like a nice escalation.
Yeah.
But it was a big tone shift, and there was definitely some stuff that I was like, this feels weird, or feels like it came out of left field, was the most part.
Yeah, I can see that. I think we kind of had a similar-ish feeling. We're waving to Yatito. Sorry. That's why it's silent.
I've been muted. My son is awake, and he is not happy about it.
Oh no, he hates Twilight. That's what he's mad about.
Can you say hi, bud? No.
No.
I'm gonna mute myself.
That's
again.
okay. Yeah. So, also, Ian, are you familiar with a piece of media called Pokemon, the first movie?
Yes, that's the one with Mewtwo, right?
Yes. Were you reminded at all of this in the end when all the high fae cry and all their tears bring Feyre back to life? Because I think I brought it up in our roundtable episode as well.
I forgot about that.
That's not something that my connection I made, but as soon as you say that, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say that she was definitely inspired by Pokemon for that one.
I mean, who hasn't been?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lucian's really the Charmander of the group. So, whatever that means to you. Yeah, so I guess on that note, I'm really curious mostly to hear about your take on like the individual characters, and like I said, don't
I'm mentioning that too.
Don't like hold back or try to be too nice about it, because I think our audience has ended up really liking when we're like brutally honest. Like I think our creed at the early on was to be like being very critical and honest, but like not being mean, basically. So like, which is
we did to be fair.
Yeah,
we did have to find that.
We did have to reel it in. Yeah.
In the beginning, we were maybe a smidge too mean, but we did reel it in a little bit. We kind of found a good balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't really pull our punches, but we do
yeah
at the same time.
exactly. I think everyone does want to hear like thoughts. So like
yeah,
so I guess
we're not honest but not mean is kind of the
that's
the good. Yeah.
So how about I guess I do want to save Farrah for the end. So I do want to hear what do you think about what are your thoughts on Tamlin as of right now?
So as a character like divorced from the narrative, I found him a little annoying, like the lack of communication. I find it very frustrating in books or in stories in general, when a lack of communication is the cause or the like source of issues and conflict in the story. Once it gets to the mountain and we learn like, oh, they physically couldn't say anything, that like, okay, fine. Besides that, I thought like, a little annoying, could be cool. I was sort of waiting for some of the... I guess this goes back to my preconceptions about the book, and I expected it to be a little more... I think I was expecting it to be a little more of like a borderline abusive relationship between him and Fair. Or like that sort of dark romance, fantasy sort of vibe, and I didn't see that, which was a nice touch. But
we get a little bit of that in the when they go is it Calamine?
Yeah, the festival thing.
The fire festival.
Yeah, we called it the fire festival.
Yeah, it's the fire festival.
The fire festival.
Right, the fire festival.
But when she sneaks out to go to that, we do get a glimpse of we kind of see him being not the greatest.
Yeah.
In that scene a little bit.
But I agree. It was kind of milder than similar books of this like romantasy genre in this first book for sure. Do you know about the concept of shadow daddies, which we learned about?
Vaguely.
We got to be careful about.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, just in this romantasy genre in general. Because that's kind of what you were describing about this like dark romance of like he's got a dark secret and he can't ever truly be like with me or devoted to me because of this dark tortured past or whatever.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Tamlin and how his behavior in the back half of the book and how he just like him being on the dais, kind of watching all this play out? Trying to avoid leading questions.
Yeah, I also want to do, because I want to, this is my problem, is I'm trying to avoid leading questions, but I also desperately want to lead Ian into saying the exact things that we said when we talked about it.
But yeah, so Tamlin kind of sitting by and watching all this happen. What were you experiencing anything during that?
As a reader, I feel like it was satisfying in the way that I could tell what was going on and why, and that like Sarah really stuck to that with Tamlin and didn't have, for the most part, outside of like the closet scene, didn't really have like a moment where she broke from having Tamlin commit to like being stoic and playing his role in the like drama that was unfolding, not giving I forget her name.
Amarantha.
Yeah, not giving her like the fuel or the suffering she wanted to see from him as well. And so I thought that was good. It didn't really like upset me that he wasn't like chomping at the bit to rescue the woman he loved. And I thought like the one moment they shared was a nice bit of catharsis. But yeah, for the most part, I thought Tamlin was like interesting. I'm curious to see what happens in the next book, but I didn't have strong feelings about him as a character.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
Speaking of Amarantha and the end of the book, I do have to ask one very important question. When Amarantha gives the riddle
Oh my
to
god.
Farah, the huge riddle that she tells Farah at the beginning
She
before the
spends
trials begin,
months thinking about.
how quickly did you know what did you find out what the answer was before Farah?
I did not.
Wow.
Oh.
This is so sad, dude. Because like, oh my god.
I'm sorry. Did y'all figure it out quick?
Yeah, I mean,
we did.
yes, like we read this and like, oh, it's love, right? And it's just like, yeah, it is.
I think
Yeah.
Rachel said she didn't think
I
of
think
the
she
answer
might have
either,
actually
though.
said that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
she said she didn't think of the answer. I think she said she was like so caught up in the book she didn't think about it.
you know what, dude? I think that we benefited strongly from reading that riddle and then stopping and like spending the next 6 months reading the rest of that book.
Yeah, like the time. So like Ian, when that riddle was first delivered to you, to when you finished the book, what was that? 4 hours? Like
No, not even that, dude.
It was like the next day or two I finished the
like,
book.
yeah. So we read that riddle and then we finished the book like 3 months later or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So like
right.
we had so much time to stew on it and be like, what is this? This stupid riddle that Farah can't figure out.
Yeah, because like I remember we read that section of book and then I was like, oh, I wonder. Let me go back and look at the riddle again, and like I like looked at it on paper because I was listening to the audiobook, and I was like looked at it on paper, and I was like, I wonder if I can figure this out. And I sat there for like a minute, and I was like, it's love. Is it love really? Is it that easy? I was like,
I thought of it as the riddle was playing out. Like as I was listening to it, I was like, the riddle wasn't even over yet, and I was like, is this gonna be love?
Is
Like
it
I
gonna
haven't
be-
heard the whole riddle,
is it
but
gonna
like
be-
knowing how this stuff goes, is it love? And then you hear the whole riddle, you're like, it's love probably.
ugh.
Yeah. Not
that is
to
fine.
defend myself too much, but I didn't spend too much time like thinking about the riddle. I sort of
That's
just read
fair.
it and
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
no,
we have-
no
Knew it
would get
criticism.
answered
I was just
eventually.
curious.
we read this book in like a really stupid way, so like that's just like doing like 4 or 5 chapters at a time and then stopping.
Yeah,
for
prepare
2 weeks.
yourself, Ian. For yourself to read these first 2 books at a very normal pace, and then for the third book to be glacial in comparison.
yeah. The riddle for the second challenge, where the answer was 3, and she had to pull the levers,
Yeah.
Oh,
and she couldn't read it,
Yeah.
and so we never figure out what the riddle is. That
Yeah.
bugged me. That bugged me a lot.
I thought
Like,
that
I
was
get
so
that
funny.
she
Like we
can't
were
read
all.
it.
I think I was like laughing out loud at that part.
In that moment, we were all Farah, because Farah
were
never
all
even
Farah.
figures out what the riddle either
Yeah.
is either.
She cheats, and I get it. I get that, like, storytelling wise, I feel like it's good that we don't figure out what the riddle is, but I want to
That
know what
is-
the riddle was.
That is the equivalent of watching a movie on Netflix and it says speaking in Spanish in the subtitles for like a full minute,
Yeah.
and you're like, great.
Very good comparison.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
So yeah, let's hear about
what
some of the
about
other
Lucian?
characters. Lucian. Yeah.
Lucian was cool. I feel like his tragic backstory, trademark, was pretty good, pretty compelling. I feel like his relationship and how it developed with Fair was interesting, and like was a good like middle ground to her relationship with Tamlin, and I feel like how that developed first and then her relationship with Tamlin developed second was an interesting way of like easing us into like the personalities and the like who these people were as High Fae. I did feel bad they kind of became the punching bag at the end. under the mountain. That seemed mean. I'm curious moving forward, especially with like my thoughts about where the story is going, what his role is going to be. It seems like his role is sort of an introduction to, or like a stepwise introduction to this world is sort of used. So I'm not sure how he's going to be involved in the later books.
Yeah. I think that we were kind of about the same on him. I think that, I don't know if you remember this, Patrick, I think that all three of us kind of like be like, yeah, I think he's probably my favorite character so far.
Yeah, I think Lucian was probably my favorite. Like
at the end of the first book,
interesting- Yeah, he was kind of. I like Lucian a lot.
Yeah.
He's cool.
And then let's see. So you haven't spent too much time with Reeson, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on him.
Well, we get a little. We get some reason at the end of the book.
Yeah, it's really all in the third
Yeah.
bit of the book there, but last third.
I mean, I get that's your reference to the Shadow Daddy thing earlier. Yeah, he seems like the misunderstood evil guy and morally gray character, and his past is so dark, and he's been through so much that now he has to be mean and
Do you think you could fix him?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
If you let me love him.
He has to let me love him first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what your read is on what I want to do some more prediction stuff at the end, so I think we'll hold on to that. But like, the what you
In
think
general, like,
is
what are your thoughts on Reese, like leading up, like in general, because like he's like, we were all kind of like, this Reese guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
like, that was our.
I think we actually
the
were a
whole
lot
time.
meaner to him than you're being right now.
We were pretty mean to him. We all effing hated Reese.
Yeah, I mean, he is an asshole, very manipulative, but I can see where, like, they're taking the character, especially with, like, his last scene in the book where he's like, yes, I always loved to fly, but it wasn't, I can't let anyone know the things I love or else they'll get taken away from me.
Oh, very tragic.
I forgot that line
I didn't remember
completely.
that either. Yeah, he's looking off into
He's
the distance. Yeah.
Yeah, and his whole, I was protecting you in my own way, and I only ever touched you on your hips, so Tamlin would know that, like, not to kill me immediately, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was, like, very tragic, total asshole, but I have ideas where I think they're taking this story. Where Sarah's going.
While we're talking about it, what are those? Like, where do you think they're going to take the story?
Let's go into it.
I mean, I think I mentioned this last time with like my like preconceived ideas about the book, but I think obviously there'll be the time split between Tamlin and what's his name, Rhysand?
Recent, yeah. So you've been reading this book
Rhysand.
physically like some sort of dork instead of hearing the audiobooks. You don't know.
Yeah, so I have no clue how anyone's name is pronounced.
So his name is Rhysand.
Rhysand.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Or when they say in the audiobook, they start saying like Rhysand.
Rhysand, yeah,
In the
which
second,
I don't
they start
like.
saying Rhysand.
Because they said Rhysand in the first book, which I think sounds better. But then maybe they got some directive to change it. But anyway, and then also I think I heard you saying like fair, but it's Feyre. So it's like
Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is totally fair. Totally fair.
Totally fair.
It's totally, so totally Feyre. But like, I think that, I definitely have been guilty of like not knowing how to say names and then getting them like stuck in my head from books and then like hearing years later that it was pronounced some other way and then getting angry.
Yeah.
Or like even IRL, and this is like a fairly relevant example. The way I spoke to Nirav online for like years and saw his name, I'm like, boy, I hope I don't get his name wrong the first time I get to talk to him in real IRL.
Did you?
I don't think so.
Nice.
I don't think your name is that. Like, I don't think
it's
Nirav
not.
is that.
If you talk to any white person who's ever seen me, you would think it's like there's a gun to their head because they're like sweating and they're like Nirav.
I have a coworker. I don't usually say names of other people I know on this podcast, but She's not going to listen to this, so I don't freaking care. I have a coworker whose name is Leilani, which isn't a very difficult name, but we deal with at work. We deal with an older white man, and for the life, he cannot, like, we've been working together for months, and every time he has to say her name, he, like, you can see the visible panic in his face, and he goes, like, Liliani, Lalania, like, he can never, he says it different every time, and there's, like, this very brief pause before he says her name, that there's a look in his eyes where he's like, here I go again, so he knows he's fucking up. It's very funny to see a white man mispronouncing the name of a non-white person over and over again.
I'd also like to give a shout out to all my teachers I ever had for calling me Nirav, which is awful. That is the default sound everybody makes when they see my name written for the first, or try to say it out for the first time. They say Nirav, and I always say it's Nirav, and it's as in it's the two words near and of together. Near of. That's it. There's no.
Oh, that's
really
helpful.
easy, and I would say 90% of the time that sticks, and they don't get it wrong again. And then 10% of people are like, "No, we're off," and they're gone. There's no way to help them. You know that they're beyond help.
With the name Patrick, I've never really had that struggle at all. I do sometimes get people spelling my name without a K at the end of it.
Wow, I've never seen that before.
They'll just start writing Patrick, and then they'll stop. One letter short, and I'm like, I'll look at it and go.
That's like a Game of Thrones ass name, Sir Patrick.
I've never in my life
without a K.
It's a pretty common name. I don't understand how it's like. It's not even just the one time. It's happened several times, and it's confusing every time.
That is really interesting. Also, shout out again to everyone who's ever met me spelling my last name wrong, even though it's like the most famous last name in the world.
Isn't it? It's slightly.
It's not. It's the same as Mahatma Gandhi. They're both spelled the same way, and in fact, there is no other spelling of it. It's Gandhi. It has never been spelled another way. And yet, every single person I meet wants to spell it Ghandi, which it has never been. No, it's not spelled that way. Why does this happen?
I don't know. It must be one of those Kazam things. What's it? Shazam? What is that? What is that thing called?
Oh, the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a Bernstein Bears truther, Ian?
I don't remember which way it is or which way it's supposed to be.
I actually don't remember which is the real one. I think it really is Bernstein Bears, right? And we all remember Bernstein Bears.
Wait, is it with an A or an E?
I think the actual one is supposed to be with an A.
The real one is the weird one. I think it's Bernstein Bears.
I think it's BER. Yeah, it's BER, Berenstein Bears.
But it says Bernstein Bears, right?
It's the second half that people are confused about, not the bear part.
Berenstain.
But bear is BER, it's not BAR. It's BER.
I don't think it was ever BAR, right?
No, we're talking about
it wasn't ever anything. It never changed.
Versus STE.
Well, but STE would be Stein.
No, but is it actually spelled STEIN?
It's AIN, I think.
It is. Look it up. What are we doing?
I'm looking at pictures. It says stain, but I'm also at the same time I'm also finding Photoshop pictures of EIN because people want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're on the subject, Ian, what color was that dress? Do you remember?
I always saw it white and gold.
That's crazy because I saw the blue and black one. Man, it fucked me up.
I can see both in my head right now, and it haunts me in my dreams.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I've ever seen the blue and black one. Even
but
when
it's
people
the same
have,
fucking dress.
No, I've never seen it as blue and black.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Sorry, I'm getting angry because I got into some fights on Facebook because it was 2014.
Yeah. But is water wet?
Yes. Yes? Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. I don't want to talk about the Mandela effect, but I do want to talk about.
We talked about Tamlin, Lucian, Rhysand.
I think we should probably just talk about Feyre. I think she's really the only other main character in the first book.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alice.
Yeah, get fucked, Alice. Exposition dump.
I love Alice.
Whatever. How did you feel about Alice's exposition dump, real quickly, where she spent an entire chapter explaining what was happening?
Oh, Alice was the maid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seemed like it came out of left field. Like it just happened out of nowhere, and it was like, here's a convenient way to fill in all these questions you've been wondering about with the answers. I don't know. Yeah, it was just a giant exposition dump. I wasn't a huge fan. I feel like it wasn't very like teased any of the information that was revealed.
I think that we all felt, even aside from it being just like a dump of stuff, like I think we all felt like it felt like it was written after the fact to explain what had already been written, rather than like this is what was planned the whole time. You know, because it got so specific. Like the rules of this curse got like so specific.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I ever, or if it would be possible to put together what was going on behind the scenes just with the clues, or lack thereof, that were in the first part of the book. Like, you would never have realized that's what was happening.
No, and I don't think it was a mystery that we were supposed to be solving, really. I think, like, this first book is just kind of, like, supposed to be focused on, like, oh, here's this fantastical new world and this guy we're falling in love with or whatever, you know? And, like, you're right, because, like, I do feel like it was not a satisfying explanation of what had been happening, I guess. That's all. But that was what I thought.
And it was super,
before we talk about...
like, the curse was so specific. It has to be a human woman who killed one of your own fae and then hates you, but then falls in love with you and has to say I love you out loud.
But not think it.
Yeah.
but not, thinking it isn't good enough. You can't. You got to say it out loud.
The magic is it's weird like that. It has to be audible.
Yeah.
The magic has to hear it.
Yeah, just shrugging like, I don't know, that's how the magic works. I don't know. But yeah,
before we talk about Farrah real quick, Nesta and Elaine.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on her sisters.
Yeah. I honestly did not expect to revisit them halfway through the book.
Same.
We said we all said the exact same thing. It was like we never thought we would see or hear about them again.
Yeah. Obviously, the elder sister or eldest
Nesta
sister.
is the older one. Yeah.
Yeah. She was kind of a bitch.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like the reveal at the end of the second time we're in the human world makes up for that. Like that she actually cared all along and she's just like really hard and not showing her emotions and she would do anything for them even though she's mean. I don't feel like that makes up for the treatment she put.
Yeah, we said the exact same thing. I think like basically like just you can like be cold and hardened and also helpful without just being awful all the time. Like
just terrible to be around.
Yeah. I'm curious what you think.
Explanation that she spent all the money to hopefully coax the father into actually doing something. Was just annoying.
Wild reasoning.
Yeah.
All right. So Farrah, what are your thoughts on Farrah after this book?
I thought she was cool. She was my favorite character.
Really? That's okay. Good. That's some diversity at least.
I thought she was like super interesting for the most part. She didn't feel like a Mary Sue, which I was worried about. It wasn't like she
honestly, I always forget what the Mary Sue thing means. I know people kept saying it in the wake of Force
Star
Awakens.
Wars,
but like, Rey's a Mary Sue. I was like, I don't know what that means. I think she's cool.
It's
just
like a... Oh, good.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's like a female character usually that is... And I think there's a male version too. But like basically they're thrust into this new world. They're pretty much helpless at the beginning, and then by the end of the story, they magically are the most powerful person in the world, and everything everyone loves them, and everything is like going great for them, but seemingly not through like work of their own. Like everyone just suddenly loves them.
Yeah, I'm not. My understanding has always been
let me look it up
like,
actually, because I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot simpler than that. It's basically a type of female character who is depicted as unrealistically lacking in flaws or weaknesses. So it's like the idea of like a quote unquote strong female character taken to an extreme where it's like not believable anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. And she didn't feel like she was just naturally good at everything, or like she was just like didn't have like the problem with like the Wheel of Time, going back to that, where like the child of prophecy and like everything is going to work out for them because they're the prophesized one, which was nice. It wasn't like she was this magical hero who was going to save the day just by existing.
Yeah, it is. I guess I didn't think about that. I don't know that we discussed this idea actually at all, but like it is interesting and kind of cool, I guess, in this fantasy world that she is not like a prophesized chosen one, you know, which is something that we basically get in, I would say, more fantasy than not. Like, Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it felt like she had to fight for things, and that was refreshing and interesting for her character. I did always find it really weird how her name was weirdly similar to fairy.
To the word fairy, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this too.
The explanation is shrug. Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
It is similar.
Yeah, I thought she was a pretty badass character, and I hope she becomes more badass as the story progresses.
Nice.
And like continues to take more agency.
Okay.
I feel like she had a good amount of agency in this book, but I hope she continues.
So, with that being said, I'm curious, like, how do you feel about Tamlin and Favor's relationship, like, as it is at the end of this book?
I feel like for the most part it's well deserved, like they worked for it. The whole falling in love with your captor Stockholm syndrome thing feels a little sketchy. But like for the most part, I don't
think we ever felt better about that, to be fair.
Yeah.
The Stockholm syndrome stuff, yeah.
For the most part, it doesn't feel like she's just like fawning over someone who's like powerful or royalty or something. It feels like there's some relationship there. So a relationship I hope continues to develop and like becomes more tangible, but it still feels like there's something there. And it does feel mutual for the most part. The prophecy part makes the curse, not prophecy, the curse thing and the requirements of the curse make it feel less mutual from his perspective. And like I feel like adds some weirdness there. But I think
is it the whole oh, it started off as a prank, but then I actually fell in love with you.
Yeah. It started off as a prank, bro.
Yeah, the whole like I have to find a human woman who hates me, but I can actually make fall in love with me.
Right, in order to like basically save his people, I guess.
Yeah, you know? And save his own life for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the development of the relationship over the first half of the book was pretty solid. I feel like, or hope, or think there'll be some fallout from the part under the mountain in their relationship moving forward.
Yeah.
Not just with Rysand and like that whole deal, but just like the things she did versus what he did while they were in captivity. I think that could be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to do one thing right now, which is to give my compliments to Alexa and Lindsay and Rachel for the incredible amount of restraint they showed when doing this in our position, because I am like losing my fucking mind.
Dude, it's so hard. It is so hard right now to like hold my tongue. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's saying there's so many things. Like you're saying things that I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, and like this thing.
And then this. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Or he'll say
yeah.
something that I'm like, well, hold on, but that can't be true because this other that's not right, Ian, because this.
Yeah,
I'm
like
you
of
know
course
yet.
you know that. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a challenge, I guess, and I feel like an invigorating one at that. So good work, everybody. Oh my god. Okay, so as far as moving forward, I think we were hoping we could get like some more like specific predictions from you about things that might happen.
Yeah, so for context of that, like we, at the end of every episode, whenever we did our episode chunks, we'd always make predictions about the next chunk of episodes. And we kind of just did that for funsies and then found out that apparently that's like our...
That was
like, one of the-
everybody's favorite part of the episode, yeah.
Yeah, that's everyone's favorite thing that we do is make predictions, mainly because they like making fun of us.
Yeah, 'cause we're not
and the
good at
channel about like, look at these dumb predictions they all made. What a bunch of idiots.
These
Well, they
fucking
don't say
dorks.
that. Maybe they do a little bit.
Maybe.
But yeah, they'd have fun looking at our predictions and goofing on us, and then sometimes we get stuff right and they'd be crazy impressed about what we get right if it was like some weirdo crazy prediction. But anyways, yeah, like any predictions you have for the next book, whether they're minor ones, major ones, would love to hear them.
So I think we'll have a bit of a like repeat thematically as she starts moving to the night court as well, where it's like a slow introduction, a will they, won't they, and then she'll also fall in love with Rysand. And then there'll be like she's pulled between these two men. And there's obviously conflict between the two High Fae. But then I'm hoping, I'm not sure if in the next book or in the third book, she says no to both of them and leads the High Fae against the king in the other country.
I don't even know how to... we got a little thumbs up. Sorry, your computer gave you a thumbs up bubble. I can't even react to things anymore. I've like...
Yeah, I don't know. It was.
Yeah.
I remember when we do these
Yes.
predictions, and because usually we only did predictions while it was just the three of us.
Yeah, and like
But then
nobody
when
knew what
we
was
would
going to happen, and we'd be like, oh yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like it could happen, or whatever. But like, now I'm just going to say, you did it. You did
Cool.
it.
I did
You
a
one.
prediction.
You did one.
I mean, to be fair, we did a couple predictions when we had everyone else on, and we did that.
But they
Alexa
just
would
like
have to
laughed
cover.
at us, yeah.
Alexa would just cover her face. She put her hands in front of her face and just cover her face because she
Jesus.
would start like laughing under her breath. I'm like, stop.
Well, I
And, like,
appreciate
one
y'all
time-
not laughing at my face.
No, we're laughing with your face.
We're laughing with
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your face.
Um,
There was another episode we recorded. Like another thing, when I record, Alexa usually she's gone now. She like her, my mom, and my son have left the house, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about child noises in the background. But every once in a while, when we record when she's here, I'll record and I'll be looking at her across the room, and she'll have to turn her back to me because she'll start reacting to my predictions in real time. So yeah,
Oh,
it's difficult.
I definitely should save this for the end of the episode, but I actually like just remembered it, and it is important. We have some corrections issued from our last episode.
By whom?
By Lindsay. She sent in... I told her to send in an email to our official email, which does not exist, if you remember. But she wanted to issue two corrections. One, that she is an OG Vlogbrothers fan and has known Hank Green since the early 2010s, and only has identified him as a TikTok man because that is primarily what he does now and in the last few years. However, she's
Oh.
very familiar with him from his YouTube days and has been there from the beginning. That was very important for her to stress for the audience.
That when you said corrections, I thought there were going to be corrections to your quiz. But
Oh,
no, you
no.
just
No, those were all
misrepresented
right.
Lindsay here.
These are just things about Lindsay. Secondly, she also wanted to make clear that she knew the name of the boy from the Voyage of the Dawn Treader was Eustace, not Nigel. I was perhaps thinking of my other friend Ashley, who I was discussing the quiz with the night before, and incorrectly misidentified Lindsay as not knowing Eustace from the Chronicles of Narnia, which she was very upset about. So those corrections have been issued.
Great. Documented here.
Yeah.
Setting the record
Nirav, can you just
straight.
cut this part of the podcast out? See, this is the time I would like if I was the editor, I'd joke about cutting this part of the podcast out, but you're editing it, so I have to just tell you to do it.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
you're not gonna do, but
I could edit it in so that it's like more in it.
yeah, you've made that joke before though.
Oh shit, you're right. Damn. Okay.
Cut that part.
There's
Cut that
only
part.
There's only so many jokes in the world, so I mean, we're gonna have some repeats. Yeah, but okay. So I was
Actually,
curious.
you know, we should also make another. Actually, this will be the end of the episode. There's another correction we have to. One of our people on the podcast feed said we did.
we
While
did.
we're talking about corrections,
Actually,
he
go ahead and do
said-
that. Yeah.
yeah, well, he said that we did keep on trucking dirty at the end of the last episode. He said it was not enthusiastic enough. So when the
gonna
end of
need
the
to-
episode does come, we have to make sure that we really commit to it.
We do need to bring a new level of that. I'm laughing right now because I know that the Spotify is going to classify this chapter as like issuing corrections or whatever, or
Issuing
like
corrections,
apologies.
We're sorry.
So yeah, Ian, I don't know if you know this. On Spotify, there's like an AI that like automatically makes chapters for all episodes of a podcast. So it's like, chapter 3, Batman retcon, which
It's very stupid
sorry,
and funny, and we laugh about it all the time.
we really like them. I'm curious about the ones that were issued for our last episode because we didn't really look at them. I'm
gonna try and pull them up right now.
Yeah, I'm blowing them up in case I'll not say any that are
Wait, how do I see
spoilers.
Oh, wait, I can. There's a tree. You can just look at the transcript on Spotify now.
Yeah, I think that is included.
That is wild. Why can I not see the chapters? Is it not long enough?
I'm not sure. I do. Oh, are you on your computer? Because I think it only
I
is on
am.
mobile that it shows it for some reason.
That's ridiculous. What? Why? Why is that a thing?
I do not know. Yeah, all of these chapter titles are spoilers. Although some of them are pretty funny, except for the first one, which is Patrick's childhood trauma the day Barney died, which isn't even right. That was Joe's childhood trauma.
Oh, that one. Yeah. No, I meant the Ian episode because that one's posted.
Yeah, this one does have chapters on mine too. So we have, let's see, new co-host Ian shares his initial thoughts on book 1. Blah blah blah. Testing literary knowledge. None of these are funny. Navigating romance
These aren't
novels and
funny at
tricky
all.
wordplay. Discussing media nuance. Okay, addressing podcast changes, future plans, and the keep on trucking sign off. So I'm glad we addressed that.
Would love to see it.
Yeah, it's funnier when it says retcon Batman. So
Yeah, this is boring.
anyway, yeah. So okay, as far as like specific stuff, what do you think is going to come of Feyre having to travel back and forth to the Night Court? Like, what do you think's going to happen at the Night Court while she's there?
This feels very leading.
This does feel leading, but it is something you know is going to happen because it's like part of their like thing that they reinforce at the end of the book. So it's not like it's like a spoiler.
True.
They reinforce it. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be like a whole new romance between the two of Feyre and
Recent.
Rhysand.
Yeah. Although I think
and
we said
then-
Rhysand at first too. Did somebody say that at first? It doesn't matter. Anyway,
It's Rhysand now.
It is Rhysand. Yeah,
Rhysand.
we know.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of conflict between Tamlin and Rhysand. And they're gonna try to figure out a way, obviously try and figure out a way out of it. I feel like that was a leading question, but I have no idea where you were leading me to.
So this is something that I think that we have to admit right now as I'm talking is that like the stuff in book 1, so much of it is like so much of the stuff in book 2 rather is just not hinted at or led up to in any way in book 1, and there's literally no way that we could ask him to talk about or even predict in the avenue.
Yeah,
of
I
what
still don't want to
happens. You know what
hint
I mean?
on accident. I guess we can also say now that we've gotten Ian's opinions on book 1, basically, I will come out and say that the three of us did not particularly care for book 1 very much.
I think you've been more enthusiastic about it than any of us.
Yeah, I think we alluded to this briefly in the previous episode when you gave us your initial thoughts, but we were all pretty hard on book 1 in general. We also were kind of hard on Feyre. We were kind of hard on everyone, and which is why Lucian ended up being our favorite character. Of course, we're like, Lucian is like, he's just this inoffensive,
He's just kind of hanging out.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy hanging out. He's just here. He's cool. He's fine. I think Lucian and like Alice was my number 2. I was like, I like Alice too because she's cool. She's also just hanging here.
Yeah,
but like we were all kind of just. I didn't hate Pharaoh, but we were all kind of like we were all pretty salty about like kind of how some stuff happened and like Rhys obviously a dick and like Tamlin we thought was. We did not like a lot of people, and then but we all liked book 2 a lot more.
Yes, I will definitely agree with that, and it's honestly I think it's just better written too. Like I think the prose is just stronger, and like it's really like a lot more. It's not like my favorite novel ever or anything, but I think I ended up giving it like 4 out of 5 stars, like as opposed to this first book, which I did not like. So, like I really liked that second book. So
I'm excited.
We liked
to get
it
into
enough
it.
to. What was that?
Oh, I said I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, we liked it enough such that like when we lost Joe as a podcast host, we're like, well, we got to keep reading this book and recording this podcast.
I do want to keep doing this because like kind of want to keep reading and talking about it, but like, yeah,
I will say it's been like we haven't listened to the third book now. It's gonna be like 2 or 3 months since we last listened to it. When we finally get to the new episode, it's been a fucking long ass time.
Yeah,
it's excruciating.
It's been a minute. I actually am starting to forget what's happened in the third book so far, which is good, and I don't want to remember because then I'll be like, what the like I need to keep reading it.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I also am. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without being leading or spoiling. What
you want more predictions from him?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like character. Okay, how about this? So we've heard about the King of Hybern who Amarantha worked for. What do you think we're gonna see from that character or that in the future?
I'm imagining there'll be some response to the death of his like best general, and he'll send someone over to this island, and then I'm hoping at some point they'll go to that continent. So I imagine there'll be, I don't know if it'll be like open warfare right off the jump, but I imagine there'll be some sort of, because I think they mentioned that even though she stole some of his power, he was okay with that as long as she brought this island to heal and like under his influence. So I don't think he would be too appreciative that they killed his general, freed themselves. So I imagine there'll be some incursion from his forces back to the island at some point in the second book.
Okay.
And I want to make sure, did you get up and leave the theater at the end, or did you wait for after the credits when the King of Hybern appeared and said, "Fine, I'll do it myself"?
Oh, I must have missed the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
I'm not about those anymore. They're overplayed.
Whoa, dang.
You moved on.
Yeah.
That was cool.
You also mentioned...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was going to ask about another prediction.
Yeah, go for it.
You mentioned before when you were talking about Feyre, how you thought she was pretty badass and very cool, and you were hoping that she becomes more badass in the second book. What do you think that looks like? Like if you want Feyre to be more badass in the second book, what do you think Feyre being more badass looks like?
I think it doesn't look like her just being a high phase partner or wife or girlfriend or whatever, taking some sort of responsibility in the restoration of either the Spring Court or the island. What is the realm? Like, is it
Prithian?
Faerun?
Oh, wait, no, Faerun is from Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, yes, it is.
The name of the
Feyre,
continent
fairies,
is Prithian.
Faerun. It's all very...
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she was Feyre living in Faerun with all these fairies? Like, yes, Prithian.
Prithian. Yeah, I imagine it like maintaining her agency and her independence and taking a role in the restoration of the like people fighting back against. I'm not sure if the plague is still a thing, the sickness. I don't know if it was clear if it died with the
Amarantha?
evil lady. Yeah,
The plague,
or if,
like the bubonic plague.
Yeah, there was a
Well,
bubonic
like this-
plague. It was that
the
like
sickness that was
that made everyone
spreading
look
through them.
sleepy. And their powers
the
back.
curse.
Yeah, the
The
curse.
big
Yeah.
curse that
Yeah,
everyone
whatever.
lost their magic with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think the curse. I think is that what you're talking about, Ian?
yeah, but
Yeah, the curse
Okay.
was lifted when Feyre said when she realized that the trick to the riddle was love.
yeah,
Like that's when the curse was lifted all at once. That was part of
Okay.
the gamble she made with Amarantha.
okay. So, yeah, I guess like just having agency, not losing her agency, and having like a pivotal role in. I mean, she's the main character of the book. Of course, she's gonna have a pivotal role, but I'm not really sure because I'm not really sure where the conflict is going from here. I mean, I feel like it's gonna change from her being like a scrappy, do it herself.
Dappy do.
Yeah, like hunter into something new, and I'm not really sure what that should or will be
Mm-hmm.
at this point.
Okay.
Or I don't really have many thoughts on what that should or will be.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, these are some really like measured and thoughtful responses. Do you think you could say something mean about Canadians or like?
They're too
Did we ever
nice.
explain to Ian why we're asking these about groups? Did we explain the context of that? Because we alluded to this in the last episode
No.
too, and then changed the
Yeah, I
subject
don't-
completely.
I don't think so. I think that the Joe was definitely like the heel of the podcast, who was being very antagonistic and sort of like randomly attacking groups of people, such as like people who liked Shrek or whatever. Just like no explanation really.
I don't think Joe would go after people who like Shrek.
No,
That
it was
feels
just
like
an example of the type of thing it would be.
It'd be more. It was like more niche stuff too, like a random video game he didn't like. He would say
it's
anyone
just
who
like,
liked
anyone
this
who
video
liked this,
game
like
is
I hope
trash.
you die. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is I mean a very different like energy we're bringing. This is more like an NPR podcast now, but like like we're bringing a very different dynamic here. So that's kind of why we're thinking like one of us needs to transform into the heel, and I don't know.
I mean, what we could do honestly is we could take a D20 every time, or like a D12 or something like that, and we all get 1 through 4. 6.
Yeah,
6
whatever.
we all get a set of 4 numbers, and then we roll the dice every episode, and whoever gets a set of numbers like, I'm the heel this episode, I guess.
Get fucked, Feyre. Yeah, we could do that. So that's why we've been being weird. So anyway, let me see right now, because I think we had one other thing I wanted to talk about real quickly.
I do have a question for y'all about the book.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, sick.
Let's do that.
Tamlin's claws. Because I imagine them like coming out of his fingernails.
8 inches at least. What's your question?
But there were times where it described it like his fist was closed, and yet she was looking to see if she could see his claws.
I imagine his
you-
claws like digging into his palm.
So okay, sorry. Does he?
So I'm thinking
Are you suggesting
Wolverine.
his Wolverine claws?
No,
Is he
I don't think-
Wolverine?
I don't think he has Wolverine claws.
Because I also feel like she mentioned scars on the back of his fingers or on his
Oh
fingers
man, I think she might have.
with her claws.
I think you're conflating that Wolverine fan fiction you were reading prior to this.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I'm
The
gonna go.
Wolverine Twilight crossover.
Dude, that would go so hard, probably.
It looks like there's the Google AI says Tamlin does not have Wolverine claws. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading there for fear of spoilers. But
Thanks,
actually,
Google
Ian, this
AI.
is a good time to bring this up. Don't Google anything. Don't even Google a character's name. It's just not,
Joe
it's,
and Nirav made the mistake of Googling Feyre's name
And
in
it
book 1.
got a massive spoiler.
and got a book end of book 2 spoiler from Googling.
just from her name, just to see how to spell it.
So don't do that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we forgot about one very important question we did not ask on this podcast. Ian, How did you feel about the volume and the amount of sex?
Oh
that
my
happened in
god,
the
we didn't
book?
even talk about this. Yeah.
We didn't talk about the sex at all. People are gonna be so mad at us.
So
We
bad at
buried
this.
this lead an hour into the podcast.
I felt
gotta-
a little blue-balled. It was much less sex
All
than
right, all
I
right.
was like
That is-
led to believe.
Yeah.
And it was so tame. I was expecting like graphic depictions, like
It's a thumbs up
and-
and bubble appeared again.
Ian saying graphic
Graphic
depictions in the
depictions.
Apple podcast, in the
Thumbs
Apple thumbs up emote.
Although, do I have to say, this is some good Joe energy as far as being
Yeah.
blue balled and being too.
We
tame
gotta
for
stop.
him.
We gotta stop bringing Joe.
Oh
into
no, we
this.
don't.
Joe,
Yeah,
no.
sorry.
Joe's gone.
Yeah,
these are
yeah,
such
that's
big
sorry.
shoes to fill, or small
Yeah.
shoes.
Small shoe. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting like nearly impossible sexual acts, like licking the perineum or licking things while other things are in mouths that just doesn't make sense. Like classic romance novel stuff.
I want like
Classic romance and
I want a 3D like I want a fucking AutoCAD drawing in 3D of like where their bodies are positioned that this is happening.
Yeah.
That's a picture book, which this is not.
That's
or just
true.
pornography.
That's just pornography,
What you're
what
describing
you're
right now
describing.
is pornography.
Yeah, I was expecting
They
a
have
lot more
websites for that,
graphic and a lot more of it. A lot more like kinky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there wasn't a trigger warning at the beginning of this book, so
Yeah,
that
definitely
sort of
did
makes
not.
sense.
Yeah.
Are there? Wait, hold on. Are there trigger warnings in books that have graphic depictions of sex?
There are sometimes.
Oh, you sweet
wow.
summer child.
Not these ones, but yeah, I know that there are in other books. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm reading the wrong stuff apparently.
Well, we
Yeah.
already established that. Like, yeah, no, I agree. This is like kind of a, I don't know if I would say like PG-13, but like maybe around that, you know, kind of
Yeah.
depiction and things will, you know, everyone told us this, so I'm gonna tell it to you too, that like things get like more graphic and more sexual in book 2, and
They get spicier and spicier as the books
they
progress.
get spicier progressively. Yeah, I think that's a good way
Apparently,
to
we've
say
heard that book 5 is outrageous. Is what
Book
we've
5
heard.
is just nonstop penetration, apparently, according to what we've been
Is-
told.
Is there a book 5?
How
How many books are there?
There's 5 total right now. I see your
Oh.
eyes like widening in horror.
I
Because-
I
We do
thought
not
it was
have to-
just a trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of is. So
Explain
it's
it
apparently
non-spoilery.
what?
I said explain this in a non-spoilery way. Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling him we haven't finished book 3 yet.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
What we know is that book 3 is kind of like it's like the first 3 books are like kind of like a self-contained. It is a complete story, books 1 through 3, and then books 4 and 5 and moving forward, I guess, are in the same universe, same characters, but like it's like another chunk. I'll say
It's like
that's all I'll
focusing
say.
on other characters is what I understand.
Yeah, that's what we know.
Okay.
We've also been told that book 4, the entirety of book 4 could be one episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
It is like
it's a novella.
Very
it's like
very content light. Yeah, novella.
100 pages and apparently not a lot happens.
Yeah. I will also say that if we read the book 3 and the 3 of us are like, we're good. We don't have to keep Ian, you don't have to. You've
Yeah,
committed to this. You do not have to keep going if you are not enjoying this.
We were going to reassess at the end of book 3 and see if we wanted to continue doing this.
Yeah.
So
I just had no clue there were more books. So
Yeah,
I
I
thought you were
she's writing a
totally
6th
joking
one.
about book 5.
Oh,
And
man.
then
Okay.
something
No, there's a 5th book. And I think she's writing a 6th book right now.
Yeah, that's correct. And then there's again, and I have to say this again. I told somebody about this podcast because like this book came up when I was at my brother's wedding last week, and you know I mentioned like, oh, you know we're doing this podcast, and she was like, that's so funny. You guys are gonna do Fourth Wing next, right? And I'm like, you're the 40th person to ask me this. No.
I mean, we're not gonna do
No,
it.
I'm
but
just saying it's like everyone has the same exact question, and that is it.
Yeah,
Okay,
do you
so
know
I'm
about
gonna-
Fourth Wing? The dragon fucking book?
I've never heard of this either.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't know anything about it besides there's dragons and apparently way more sex than these books.
I'm in.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Nice. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well-
So like so the other issue is like this is already difficult to schedule
Yes.
and everything like that. So like by the time when we finish the third book, if we decide to do the fourth and fifth books, at that point, like my child might be like 3 or 4 years old. Like I might have a second child. I don't fucking know. Like it's like
Yeah.
committing to more beyond this is just not.
It's hard. So yeah, we're definitely gonna finish the third book though, and then we'll kind of we'll reassess, like I said. But I'm excited to continue going through this because like shit gets like really wild in especially like the second half of book 2 and then like what we've read of book 3 so far. Like shit is like crazy the whole time. It's really cool. So I think, and you know what, I think I think we were warned the beginning of book 2 was kind of slow. I don't really agree with that. I think it picks up really quickly and gets into it.
Book 2, especially compared to book 1, book 2 moves so much faster, and it's such an easier read. Like, Ian, if you enjoy book 1, you should love. Oh, actually, maybe you hate book 2. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
you'll hate how much stuff happens in it and how there's like action.
Yeah.
I would think you'll enjoy book 2. Yeah. So the next plan after this is that we'll do a similar episode like this, basically, but focusing on book 2, and then we're kind of weird because we're like 17 chapters into book 3.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump. My plan was to have us jump right to the next bit. So Ian will basically read those first like 20 whatever chapters, and then we'll go into it from there. Like.
Perfect.
So I
Sounds
think
good.
if my calculations are correct, and I'm doing some math right now, but this episode will come out on the 12th of December, and then the 26th of December will be, I guess, our Christmas special where we talk about book 2.
Classic Christmas special.
Boxing Day special, the 26th. Excuse me.
What is that? What is the Beauty and the Beast? They made a Beauty and the Beast like straight to DVD
Feyre's
short.
Enchanted Christmas. Yeah.
Feyre's Enchanted Christmas. Yes.
So that was actually the name of the first episode of this podcast.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So we can't use it again.
Damn it.
But
we already said this is like a re-release, a remaster.
Oh, I guess this
Feyre's
is a
Enchanted Christmas remastered.
Remastered. In 60 frames per second.
Game of the
this
Year
time.
edition.
Game of the Year edition, dude.
Game of the
all
Year
the DLC
edition.
is packed in.
It includes all DLC.
Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at basically is the first episode of the new year, if we are on schedule, will be when we'll be progressing forward in the third book again. So that should all line up, and we'll hopefully get that out to you guys. So okay, nice. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this. I've actually been. It's been kind of fun to like just get into my own head and remember what I was thinking at the end of book 1 and how like naive and stupid I was at that time about like what was to come, I guess. I don't know about you, Patrick.
Did you just call Ian naive and stupid?
I said remember
think
how
he did.
naive and stupid I was.
No.
I
You
think
said
he
what Ian talked-
implied.
Yeah, sorry, I
think he
rolled.
implied
Sorry,
was
I
naive and
rolled the
stupid.
die over here and it told me I was the heel this time. So. Yeah. So no, I think this was actually pretty fun. I'm excited to see your face after we come in for book 2 to talk about this, and you're like, guys, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, just compared to the first one. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Patrick, you have anything you want to throw out?
I'm just saying, it's like we started recording this podcast like an hour and a half ago, and I didn't have any lights on in this room because the sun was coming in through the windows, and now it's just like extremely dark in
It
this
is.
room.
It's pretty funny to look
And like
at.
the light switch is
Yeah.
too far away. We're almost done. It's
Whatever.
fine. I'm just
It doesn't
recording in like a
matter.
pitch black room right now.
All right, nice. And Ian, do you want to give any shout outs to the audience here? Let them know anything they need to know. Or even
Yes,
just a
thank
PSA
y'all.
in general.
Just a PSA?
Yeah,
Like something
anything that-
like...
like turn off motion smoothing on your TV or whatever. Just some sort
Yeah.
of PSA.
Be sure if you're living somewhere that gets cold, be sure you keep your faucets dripping overnight.
That's good advice.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
I've lived in California my entire life.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, you.
He's
yeah,
a sheltered baby.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't know cold.
That's the West Coast elite talking right now.
Yeah.
I
Um,
apologize.
Yeah, so I think that we need to give a hearty and earnest keep on trucking this time.
We do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Brodor will be disappointed in us.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
So let's say 3, 2, 1, and then let's all just give it like
We're going to try and do it in sync? That's going to be impossible.
Yeah, no.
How are you going to...
We'll need all 3 of our powers combined, across the streams, etc. All right.
Oh, everyone's
so-
getting geared up. Ian just leaned forward
Yeah, he's like-
he's just
It's
getting...
like cracking my
Hold on.
knuckles
Do
over
we
here.
pull back out time.is and do it at
That would
the
be
same
insane.
time?
That would be crazy if we just... We chose a time and we all... No, I don't think we can...
It's just like 8 seconds of silence and then like... Actually, that sounds so funny. Can we do that? All right.
Okay, all right. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of lead up to this. Okay, so time.is. For those listening, time.is is what you use to time our claps to get the audio synced at the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
I'm going to choose a time and we're all going to say keep on trucking at the time.
Okay, let's say... You want to say 10 seconds?
10 seconds, okay.
Keep
on trucking.
Trucking. Wait, did you say it, Ian? Oh my god.
Fuck.
It's good enough, dude. I don't care. I do care. I do care about trucks. And actually, wait. Oh, I don't think I've shown this to you guys either, but just for the audience listening, I have Lindsay gave me a little pin that says "Keep on Trucking."
That's
Aw.
extremely
It's
cute.
a cute little one, yeah.
This
So
is
we've-
perfect to end an audio medium.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
well, that's why I described it too. Whatever. All right. And when people get down on you about what you do in an audio medium, you keep on trucking. That's what I'm going to
You
tell you.
keep
Yeah.
on trucking, and you also support your local
yeah,
bookstore.
bro.
Don't
Yes,
forget
we
about
should
that.
do that too. Ian, do you have a local bookstore in Atlanta you want to shout out?
Maybe she will let you stay good enough.
No. Okay. I should
Damn.
have asked. I should have teed you up for that without the answer. All right. See you guys later.
All right, bye. Keep on trucking.
Bye.